Hi there guys, it's Robert, an ambassador for Christ, and as you know where I go, the kingdom goes. Remember, as usual, eat the fish, spit out the bones. For some things you may agree with, and some things you may not. You're probably thinking, where am I? Well, I'm walking around this medieval church that's over 900 years old. I like kingdoms, and I like old things like churches and stuff like that. I think it's really interesting. But anyway, listen to me, right? I've got a word that's going to be, God gave me a word, it's so powerful, it's going to blow your brain. Listen to this. The Bible speaks about the work of the flesh, the work of the flesh. It speaks about that in Galatians chapter 5, verse 19 to 21. You know, it speaks about fornication and adultery and lasciviousness and, you know, murder, debate and all this strife and drunkenness and murders and all this stuff here. It speaks about the work of the flesh. Now, after that in Galatians chapter 5, verse 22, 23, 24, it speaks about the fruit of the Spirit. Your mind is about to be blown. When you move in the flesh, you're working, you're toiling. When you are dealing with or messing with fornication, you're messing around with, or you're dabbling in the occult, you're dabbling in witchcraft, you're dabbling in drugs and sorcery, you're dabbling in unforgiveness and hatred. See, when you're dabbling and you are moving in those things, you're working, you're toiling. Meaning what? It means that if you are doing that in your life, you're going to be just drained. You're going to be going through things. You're going to be going crazy in your mind. You have bondages in your mind. You know, listen, you know when you work, okay, in your secular job, or, you know, you work overtime and you've been working 80 hours a week, what happens? Because you've been working, you get drained. Because you're working so much, you get tired. Because you're doing all this work, you get tired and then you get drained. That's the same as when you walk in the flesh and the works of the flesh. Same thing, you're going to get drained. Now this is where it gets really, really interesting, because the Bible speaks about the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, temperance, long-suffering and all that good stuff. Against such there is no law. So you start to eat the fruit or have the fruit of the Spirit. Now, when you have the fruit of the Spirit, you're just eating fruit. You're not working anymore. You're not working anymore. You're just partaking of things that's already there. When you're working in the flesh, there is no fruit. When you're moving in the works of the flesh, there is no fruit. All there is pain, agony, and toil. But when you walk in the Spirit, all there is fruit. So love, joy, peace is already there. It's available. It's already on the tree. As I'm saying that, there is a tree. There's a tree right in front of me, right? There's a tree in front of me right there as I'm saying that. It's already available. So, for example, when Adam and Eve was in the Garden of Eden, the fruit was already there. The fruit was already available. God said to Adam and Eve, you know, you can eat of all the trees that's in the garden, eat all the fruit. It's already available. So what happened? Apart from the fruit on the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, obviously, but the fruit was already available for them to partake of. They didn't have to work for it. It was already growing. That's all it was. It's growing, ready for them to partake of it. Now that's the same with us, okay? When we walk in the Spirit, all you're going to do is eat fruit. All you're going to do is to partake of what's already there. Righteousness is a fruit, it's already there. Love, joy, peace is a fruit, it's already there. Goodness, temperance, forgiveness, grace is a fruit that's already there. You know, Christ has made it available to us through the blood of his cross, or because of his death, burial and resurrection. He has made it available for us. And this is what God does. He gives you a word and leaves it down to you. What decision do you want to make? Do you want to eat fruit, or do you want to work and suffer, or do you want to relax and eat that which is already available? It's just like a parent. When a parent has a child and the food is already available, my children just go into the fridge and take what they want. Why? Because it's available. I'm their father, I'm their dad, and the food is in the fridge and it's available. The things they need in the house is all available. They don't have to work for anything. Why? Because it's all available, ready for them to partake of or take it as they want. And like I said, that's the same with us, with God. God has made it all available for us because he's our Father. He has supplied everything for us. Do you want to partake of it? Do you want to enjoy it? Or do you want to work in the flesh and suffer? Now, I don't know about you, okay? But I want to eat fruit. I want to be on a hammock, okay, in the sun, eating fruit. I don't want to be working in the earth realm and doing 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 hours a week, and I'm going through toil. My mind is broken, my spirit is broken, my family's broken, life is broken, I'm struggling. No, that's just working in the flesh. No, I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to be toiling. So what's God saying, okay, for us, is that we have to choose spiritual things. We have to choose to be in the spirit. We have to choose to live in the spirit, because when you live in the flesh, you're on the earth, okay? And when you're in the earth, you're doing it the earthly way, you're going to struggle. But if you do it the spiritual way, all you do is just partake of fruit. Now, for me and my house, I want to partake of fruit. Is there anything wrong with you working in a secular job? Of course there's not. That's not what I'm speaking about. I'm speaking more about working in the flesh, okay? So when I'm saying working 100 hours a week and all that stuff there, that's just an example of, you know, give you an idea of what I'm saying when I'm speaking about working in the flesh. Because when you start to move in the flesh with fornication and adultery and bitterness and anger and hatred and deceit and all that stuff there, it feels like you're working 100 hours a week in your secular job because you're always tired. So God has given us the way out. Let's step out of that. Let's step out of that mess and let's step into the spirit. Let's become more spiritual. We are spiritual beings, okay? Primarily, we are spiritual beings inside a physical body. So primarily we are spiritual. So we must act spiritual because God has given us all the things we need. It's all there. You know, even Peter says that God has given us all things that pertain unto life and godliness. God has already given it to us. But the devil wants us to move in the flesh, because when you move in the flesh, you're not walking in the spirit. And if you're not walking in the spirit, you're not going to be eating any fruit. If you're not eating any fruit, you're going to be working. And it's going to feel like every day, it's going to feel like you've been working 24 hours a day, because you're always going to be living life drained. In your spiritually drained, spiritually drained, and emotionally drained, physically drained. Why? Because you're moving in the flesh, and when you move in the flesh, it's like you're just moving in, you know, all the toil, and you don't want that. Let me leave it there. Listen, it's Rob and Abbas for Christ. Eat the fish, spit out the bones as usual. I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day.